Hello, and welcome to Book Talks with Sandy. I am Sandy Sanders. I'm award-winning talk show host and creator of Coffee Conversations with Sandy and Friends. And this afternoon, y'all know we've been on book tour for the past couple of weeks, but today we are super excited. We're presenting another book, and I'm telling you, God just knows how. Y'all know how it flow. Listen, God knows how to set some things up. Our guest today, and I'm super excited. So you all go ahead and get the word out. These amazing, beautiful, courageous women are going to be a part of a roundtable discussion of an upcoming event that's going to be taking place in Sumter, South Carolina. And we're so excited. It is called Pink in the City. And as you can see, some of the theme colors, yes, they have it on. And we are with the amazing, phenomenal, yes, Coach Tamika Hunter Ross. But before we have her on and say hello to the ladies, you guys, Book Talks with Sandy, what is it? It is our platform for authors, anthology book projects. And most of all, I say that it is for you. And why do I say that? Because you just might be looking for a good book to read, right? So I need you to share this out with your community, share it out with your tribe. I always tell you, you're coaches of coaches. You are leaders, you are tribe leaders, and you have communities. I need you to tag at least, since we're going to be on this subject, and what is that? We're right on the brink of breast cancer awareness. I need you to tag at least 5 women. I want you to go ahead and put those names in. I'm going to be doing the same thing. We're going to do our intro one more time while you guys take a moment and do this. But in the meantime, hi, Coach. Hi, Coach Ross. How you doing? Great to meet you.
Hi, Sandy. Good to be here. Nice to meet you today.
Super excited to have you here. And so as we begin to share it out, we are going to do that. I need y'all to listen. We're going to do the intro one more time, and then we'll be right back with Book Talks with Sandy. And again, we are on Book Talks with Sandy, a Sunday afternoon. You guys know we're just coming out of, we're in week 3. Week 3 of Book Talks with Sandy. I have a story author tour. And God truly knows how to set some stuff up here on our platform. The ladies that are before you are part of an amazing book project. The visionary author, none other than and she's known as Minister T. It is the phenomenal Tamika Hunter Ross. She is the visionary author of an amazing book that we're super excited. I'm looking forward to even purchasing this book myself. It is called High Heels. Y'all know I love the stilettos. High Heels in Low Places. Coach Tamika, Minister T, welcome to Book Talks with Sandy. And you're mute.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, hello and welcome to the table.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am so honored and grateful to have this opportunity.
Yes, indeed. And we're very happy that you are here with us and you brought some of the authors with you. I'd like for these ladies to say hello to us. The phenomenal, yes, contributing author Tamika Marks, if you will, come on and say hi to us. Hi, Tamika. And Kimberly Curtis.
Hi.
Hi, Kim. How are you? Good. And we have the phenomenal, yes, Lady Stacy Haywood.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us on today.
I Absolutely, absolutely. Ladies, we're going to have an amazing conversation. The subject of breast cancer and the upcoming, soon to be released, your book that is, we're definitely, it's, listen, we're speaking it, we're believing God, number one bestseller.
Yes.
Absolutely. Indeed, indeed, indeed. But before we go any further, I just want to lead us in a word of prayer, and then from there we will go on. Y'all know that that are watching us that we normally, as y'all know, that Lori kind of gave us some instructions that we are to, yes, acknowledge him not in the green room, but we're coming forward and giving him all glory and honor on our platform. So those of you that are watching us from our Facebook page on Coffee Conversations with Sandy and Friends, as well as our YouTube channel, come on and join us in a word of prayer. All right. Gracious Heavenly Father, we bless you and we do glorify you. We magnify your name. We acknowledge that you are the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. We acknowledge you that, Lord, you are the author and the finisher of our faith. We thank you, oh God, for this day. David declares that this is the day that you made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Father, I thank you for this platform. I thank you for our guest on today. I thank you, oh God, for what they will be sharing with viewers from all over the world about how you have provided them with the courage to share their story. I want to thank God for the visionary author that you birthed this vision in her, and then you gave her the strength to birth it out. And for that, we thank you. I thank you, oh God, that you will be the center of our conversation. You get the glory, you get the honor, and all of the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. You all, yes, we are with the amazing, they know her as Minister T, and Tamika Hunter Ross. She is the visionary author of the upcoming book soon to be released called High Heels in Low Places. There are 22 authentic women who have shared their journey and perseverance with breast cancer. Minister T, again, hello and welcome. How did this book come about? I'm going to show your graphics in just a moment, but how did this book come about?
This book came about in 2018 after I was diagnosed a second time with breast cancer. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, the second diagnosis was stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. And, it was heartbreaking. It was devastating. But, once I got past my emotions from the diagnosis, I began to just seek God and pray and just
Mhm.
like, I know this is not about me. This is not for me. This is going to make me a better person. But there was going to be a purpose through the pain that I was experiencing. And lo and behold, the Holy Spirit gave me the vision of doing the book as well as a support group. Everyone that really knows me know that I am a lover of shoes, especially heels. All my life, from college up until my diagnosis, you will always find me every day in a pair of 4-inch to 5-inch stilettos.
Go ahead.
And being that I'm barely 5 feet tall, those stilettos were needed. And unfortunately, because of the diagnosis and it metastasizes to the bones, I had to retire my stilettos and my love for heels. And I also used to own a shoe boutique when I lived in Greenville. So, one thing about me, when you're doing anything, I tell people you have to do something that will catch people's attention,
Yeah.
something that would engage them. And every female loves a good pair of shoes. So it's that concept is basically to how you engage people for the platform to discuss about breast cancer. But yeah, the idea was birthed in 2018 after my first diagnosis. And it just, unfortunately, it took almost 4 years for it to come to pass. But, thanks be to God, everything is in his timing.
Absolutely.
This was perfect divine timing.
Mhm.
Happened in his timing, in his will, in his way. And I'm just so excited of what God is doing and what he will do through all of us that are contributing to this book.
Absolutely. And you have some amazing women that have joined. I do want to say hello to our the platform that we are a part of, as well as being one of our sponsors. We're talking about CTR Media Network, marketing and podcasting. Thank you so much for your support and thank you for being out there. I see you. And she is saying, hello, ladies. Yes, indeed. CTR is all in there. And we do certainly appreciate. Also, Kaya Anderson is saying congratulations, especially my mommy. Woo woo, Kimberly. So yeah, you got some supporters out there. Thank you all for tuning in. Well, we're going to go ahead and let our audience meet these phenomenal women and just begin to go ahead and share. Y'all don't want to hear me talk. I want to hear what these amazing women. I want to go ahead and introduce to you Lady Kimberly Curtis. She is a pediatric registered nurse at Children's National Hospital. She is a wife, a mother of two. She's a mother of two, grandmother of three, and an entrepreneur, baker of Cakes by Kim LLC. Come on, Kimberly, and say hi to us.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Good. Absolutely, absolutely. So you're on a journey. Did you anticipate on ever becoming a writer?
That was never a thought, never a dream. But now that it's here, I'm very honored. And one thing I like to just kind of highlight is it is a journey. Even though some of us may have completed whatever treatment we had to go through, and as I listen to others that are still going through, it is a daily journey. And I'm just grateful. Tamika mentioned, but I remember thinking, not me, or why me? And after I got over dealing with my emotions, God just let me know why not me, that he knew I could go through and be able to help somebody else.
Yes, indeed. And you are helping other women as well as men, but we don't hear as much about those, and we'll kind of hit on some statistics and some numbers a little bit later. But absolutely, and thank you for being courageous to share your story and the journey that you are on. At this time, also now we're going to go ahead over to Stacy. Stacy Haywood. She is an insurance adjuster, licensed in 26 states. She's an ordained elder, wife, mother of two, founder of What's Underneath Matters, a nonprofit organization that provides undergarments to low income at risk youth. Oh my goodness, y'all are just making my to-do list here. Phenomenal. Come on, say hi to us.
Hello. Again, thank you for having me on this platform today. It's an awesome honor just to be here.
Yeah. Come on and talk to us a little bit about being an author. You are already doing amazing things with working with young girls. I think the service and the nonprofit that you have so much needed, because $1.50 or $2 may not seem like it's hard to come by to go buy sanitary items, but it's much needed. Come on and share with us a little bit about that.
So years ago, it was prophesied to me that I was going to write a book, and I just kind of blew that off like, I don't even like to write. Like, I don't have time. I don't like to write. So, okay, I hear you. And I just kept moving. But one thing that I know for certain is when the Lord speaks a thing, it doesn't matter how long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Once it leaves his mouth, it won't return void. So it will accomplish everything that it is meant to accomplish. But I had no idea, even coming into this project, when I was approached about, hey, are you willing to share your story of what you went through with breast cancer? And I was like, well, yeah, sure. As a two-time cancer survivor, it was like, well, maybe it can offer hope or inspiration or help someone else. Um, my story was a little different, but not so different in that my diagnosis was 15 years apart.
I see. Okay.
So whereas with the first diagnosis, you know, that was hard enough, but I was living to get to year 5, which, you know, they tell you you get through your first 5 years, you're kind of good. When you
Uh-huh.
get to year 10, you really smooth sailing. You
Uh-huh.
know, you kind of outside of that window of it coming back. Um, and so to get to year 15 and be in the middle or in the process of holding one of my best friend's hands, walking him through throat cancer,
Uh-huh.
and I go to the doctor routinely and get a diagnosis, I just felt like, wait a minute, is this a joke? Like, this
Yeah.
cannot be for
This
real.
is cannot be. Wow. So listen,
Right.
hang on. We want to put a pin right there. Hold on to that thought, because you're saying something that is so phenomenal, and your story, like you're absolutely correct. It's interesting, yes, that it was diagnosed 15 years earlier. You go through treatment and you're in another place, in another season. God got you over those first 5 year huddle, that first 5 year huddle. So I want to hear more. Absolutely. And now, come on, our next, it is, yes, Miss Tamika Marks. I want to say, do I have that right? Yes, Lady Tamika, come on and say hi to us. I want to share a little bit about who you are. You are originally from Sumter, South Carolina, currently living in Nashville, Tennessee, married to her amazing college sweetheart, Justin, for 20 years. They have 2 kids, 2 children, Kennedy 17 and Peyton 14. She works as a program coordinator at the Vanderbilt University Medical Center, has a BS degree in sociology from Van Hughes College. Come on and talk to us. What
Hi,
do you think?
everyone. Good afternoon.
Yeah,
Thank you. This is definitely an honor to be here, to be a part of this project. I'm super excited about it.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for. How did you connect with Lady Tamika?
So actually, we connected through one of her coworkers, co-partners with the project, Jason Mahoney.
Uh-huh.
He contacted me and asked if I wanted to be a part of a project, of people writing a book about breast cancer, and I was like, sure, I guess, you know. And I heard you ask the other women, about being an author. Never in a million years would I have thought that I would be an author. Because do I write? No. Do I love to talk though? Yeah. So, but yeah, wouldn't have never thought that my story would actually go into a book for someone else to read. So I'm super excited.
Wow. Wow. I am so excited and honored to have you all. Well, you all allow Coach Tamika, Minister T, and I to kind of have a little dialogue. Minister T, I want to share with our audience, you're this amazing woman. Your slogan or your motto, strong faith, high standards. You empower people to activate their faith and set their standards high. Again, you talked about the shoe. You talked about your first diagnosis. You do use the shoe, as you said, as a means to bring about a conversation. That what you're doing, you're stepping high. Bring us into where we are. As you said, it took you a couple of years, but bring us in, our audience, into knowing about you as and meeting these amazing, phenomenal women.
Yes. So, Tamika, I'm just going to piggyback on what she said, because the key person here is Jason, the motivator Mahoney. Last year, I was receiving an award for a red carpet event with Dr. Kimberly Green. And she said, you come to this event. She said, I have somebody I need you to meet. I think he will be able to take you and your support group to the next level and help you with some of the visions that you have for the support group. And I said, okay. Matter of fact, the Sunday of her event, I was just getting back from chemo in Atlanta. I go to Atlanta every 3 weeks for chemo. With stage 4 is ongoing treatment. And really that Sunday, I was like toiling all day because my body was tired, my mind was tired. And I probably like text Dr. Kim, 10 times saying, I'm not going to come, but the Holy Spirit kept telling me, go, go, go. And as soon as I walked into the event, here was this this gentleman. And what caught me, I said, oh, wow, somebody that my height. I always get a kick out of the guys that are, short like me. And then he just had this bubbly personality that just is like, Jason is like a magnet. He meets no stranger. And if you have any kind of interaction with Jason, you'll be like, oh my God, there's something special about him. So he interviewed me on the red carpet. And then when I said my name, he said, oh, you're the person Kim want me to meet. And I said, yeah, and you're the person she wanted me to meet. So after the event, Jason and I had the opportunity to talk. I shared with him my heart, my journey, because also with getting this second diagnosis, the first diagnosis, I had just lost my dad and 3 of my dad's brothers. I lost 4 men in our family to cancer back to back within a 9-month period, and then myself get diagnosed with cancer the first time, and then here we go a second time, and then now has metastasized. And of course, science says there is no cure for stage 4, and it requires ongoing treatment. And I just shared with Jason, like, God has a purpose for all this pain that I'm going through. I'm still grieving the loss of my dad. I'm the only girl. I'm the youngest and only girl of 4. I have 3 older brothers. My dad was my best friend. And, I'm still grieving over that even to this day, 8 years later. And I'm just like, God has a plan and a purpose for my life. And breast cancer is just a platform to either remind somebody who he is and what he can do, or I'm introducing somebody to Jesus for the first time. And I shared with Jason that I'm ready to take the support group to another level, as well as I have this book. I know the Holy Spirit told me to write this book. And Jason took it to another level. He was like, I'm with you on that. And he said, I'm going to call you. And sure enough, he called me the next day. And Jason and I probably talked for a couple of hours that day and every day after that. And he pushed me, encouraged me. He said, because initially it was just going to be a story about me and share my journey with the first diagnosis and the second diagnosis. And then I said, you know what? I don't think people understand how serious stage 4 is, and how a lot of people live in fear with that type of diagnosis, knowing that there is not a cure. And he was like, let's take it even further. He said, let's make it a compilation book. He said, I think you need to get as many women involved as you can and let everybody share their story, because everybody will have a different journey that is unique. He said, yes, your story will capture those, that are stage 4 and those that have lost family members to cancer and then themselves get. And when Jason first presented that to me, I was like, nah, Jason, I don't think so. I said, okay. I said, we'll do it. Let's do 10 women. And then Jason said, no, we're going to do 12. Then Jason said, no, we're going to do 15. And then I said, 22 women. I said, Jason, are you crazy? And he was like, the more we have, he said, the more we can be a voice for the voiceless, the more we can be more impact. He said, if you're trying to be successful and effective, he said, you say it yourself, we're stronger together. So he said, let's be in prayer, and let's involve some other women. And we brought, initially, I invited the women from the support group. Some of them agreed, and some of them did not want to do it. Some people are not ready to share their story. Some people haven't even told immediate family members about their diagnosis. So at the end, I think it ended up with 7 of us. And Jason was like, and I was starting to get a little discouraged. And I was saying, well, maybe this is a sign that he said, no, if you heard from God and God told you to do this, he said, we're going to do this and I'm going to help you. And he began to introduce me to people like Stacy and Tamika and Kim and all the other ladies. And it has been such an honor to say that I'm the only girl, I'm the youngest, and all my life I've just been around boys, my family majority men. It has been an honor and a privilege to not only meet these ladies, but work with them, hear their stories. It's almost like we have become our own secluded sisterhood and circle. I'm just so blessed and excited about it. And I feel like I got sisters that I never had. And what is so special is that even though I know a lot of people, I have a lot of relationships, I have a lot of associations, but these women can understand and relate exactly what I go through 365 days out of a year. Because as breast cancer survivors, we understand each other, mood swings, our hot flashes, our bipolar moments, and
Talk about that. Yes, because a person that has not been diagnosed, that my sister was. My sister, out of 5 girls, I have one sister that was diagnosed, and she did have the double mastectomy. That was the best option for her. But I want us to talk about that, ladies. And I know I have I've shared about who you are, but I want to open up a dialogue. Is that bring us into that people may not understand a daily challenge. What is one daily challenge? You missing about the mood swings and all? Yeah, let's talk about that. Anybody?
I think one. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tamika. I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
No, so for me, I'm actually coming up on my 5th-year anniversary, and
Okay.
so I still deal with anxiety. And
Yep.
hearing, Tamika's story and Stacy's story about, so many years later, that reoccurrence, that's my biggest fear, honestly.
Okay. Okay.
I any type of pain, any type of
Yes.
ache, I'm like, what is this? What's going on? Is this coming back? So like she said, dealing with the mood swings, the hot flashes. My family is like, why is it so cold in this house? I'm like, it's hot. So, and one minute I'm happy, and the next minute I may be
In
almost in
tears.
tears,
Wow.
So yeah, but my biggest thing is the anxiety. Like I said, just coming up on my 5th year. Like Stacy said, I'm coming up on that 5th year, and I'm like, okay, once I get to year 5, I'll be in the clear. But
Right.
realistically, I have to keep praying. I have to keep pushing. I have to keep living to be healthy. I have to keep, saying, okay, God, I know you got me. You brought me this far, so I know you're going to take me even further. Because
Yeah.
who knows? That's just science. And like they said, she got to her 5th year, and sure enough, 5 year, 10 year, and 15 years, you're like, what is this? So, we have to deal with anxiety. I had a person tell me one time, I don't understand how people have anxiety and you believe in God. I
Yeah.
said, really?
Okay.
You
Mhm.
may not have really gone through, you know what I mean? Just going through something personal like that. And at first it hurt my feelings. And I was like, how you going to test my faith like that? I believe in God,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I have anxiety. I deal with anxiety on a daily basis.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so that's my biggest fear.
Okay. And so what do you do? What do you do when what is one thing that you help yourself go through that moment? You feel it coming. What would be a tip maybe for our audience? What has worked for you sometimes?
The biggest thing is definitely to pray. I take a minute and I say, okay, God, you know what I'm going through. I need you to touch me from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet and take this anxiety out of my heart. I take big deep breaths a lot. I try to meditate just on other things,
Okay.
just on I meditate on being grateful that he's brought me thus far. I've when I was diagnosed, I literally right after my 40th birthday, it was my first mammogram, the whole nine. So it was a big slap in the face to me, say, hey, and so I lean on my faith and say, okay, God, I know you brought me this far. I know you can
Mhm.
take me further.
So depending on your faith and prayer, I
Hmm.
love it. Yes.
Hmm.
Kimberly, and I think Coach Stacy, she had a comment to say also. Stacy, when we were talking about what a typical day is like.
So a typical day, or one of the challenges is, like, I cannot go anywhere without water. Without water, I keep an insulated bottle of water 24 hours a day because of just dealing with all of the dry mouth, the dry skin, and I often share with people, one thing that I learned about cancer is, even past the diagnosis, even once you're done with treatment, your life never goes back to what it was prior to that diagnosis. You just really learn to live in a new normal, whatever that is. You adjust because you never go back to what you were before diagnosis and treatment. So one of the big challenges is just I don't know about the other ladies, but I can't move anywhere without water. So you add that to the hot flashes and the cold sweats and emotions all over the place, but it just everything just leaves you so dry and parched,
Okay.
like
Okay.
all of the time.
Yeah.
So
So for
that's
you,
just
it's the water constantly. Yeah. If anybody say, and you're telling, so you tell yourself, I got to have my water bottle. So having your water bottle sounds like just like we pick up our purse, you pick up your purse plus your water bottle.
absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely.
Everybody's
And
journey is
Andy, I
different.
did want to say now with the diagnosis 15 years apart,
Uh-huh.
because I heard my sister's concern. Now, for me, it was not the cancer coming back out of remission, because it was two totally different types of cancer
Mm-hmm.
in two different locations, but in the same breast.
Wow.
Interesting.
And I was never one, I
Yeah.
never said, even from the first diagnosis, I never, because there's so much power in words, I never said the cancer was in remission, because
Okay.
I always stood on the fact that I was healed from cancer.
Yes.
Because anything that's in any form, that's a possibility of return.
You're
So I
helping
stood
us.
in
Yeah.
my healing. I never used the word remission,
Mm-hmm.
because I canceled out that possibility, because I knew that God had already said that I was healed.
Amen. Amen.
And
That's
so
good.
when the second diagnosis came 15 years later, even the oncologist, everybody was astounded, like, how could this be? But I still in that knew I'm not shaken, because this can't be the same as before, because
Mm-hmm.
that's already gone. And sure enough, it was a different type, different location, just same breast.
Right. Wow. Before Kimberly, you come on, we are with the contributing authors of the upcoming book that we are deeming, yes, going to be a #1 bestseller. We're talking with the visionary author. Yes, that many know, she's known as affectionately as Minister T. And who are we talking about? The lady Tamika Hunter Ross, who is the visionary author of the book. The book is called, let me go down to it again. Yes, High Heels in Low Places. And this book is with 22 authentic women who have shared their journey of perseverance with breast cancer. And so the ladies who you are meeting today are the contributing authors of this amazing book, as well as talking about their experience and their journey of being diagnosed with breast cancer. Breast cancer, what is it? It is a broad term. It's a broad term that you can have various classes, but according to the National Breast Cancer Foundation Incorporated, is that breast cancer is a broad term for a class of diseases characterized by an abnormal cell that grow and invade healthy cells in the body. Breast cancer starts in the cells of the breast as a group of cancer cells that can then invade surrounding tissue or spread, metastasize to other areas of the body. Kimberly, if you will, come on. And this is just a little bit of information. And so our source that we're looking at right now, and then these ladies have walked the journey. They're in the journey. And I want them to also share what they have learned as they're about this once they've been diagnosed. Kimberly, come on and share with us. I want to bring your information up as well. Bear with me here 1 second, you all. And I want to say hello to our audience. Mr. Jason apparently is out there. I did see, I think he is this the gentleman? Yeah, Mr. Jason Mahoney, thank you so much for being with us. I recognize it when I put up crafted to motivate. Hello, ladies. Amazing. So proud of you. And our one of our ambassadors, Brenda Moultrie. Hi, Brenda. I've been seeing you in the audience, and thank you so much for being out there and watching. And we also have Mavis Creer. Thank you, Mavis, for being in the audience. And Coach Ursula, thank you so much. She says, good evening, ladies. And I believe we're going to wait for Kimberly to come back in just a minute. But what I want to talk about, there's an event that is coming up. The book is about to be released. And Minister T, if you will, kind of bring us in what's about to happen on October the 1st. A couple of things, I know.
October the 1st, Sumter County is about to experience and make history. And again, I owe it all to Jason, the Motivator Mahoney. Now I understand why he has the nickname, the Motivator, because Jason has really motivated me, motivated the ladies throughout this whole process. And he took us to another level. It's not even about the book anymore. Jason was like, listen, we're going to brand you as well. What is it that God has given to you, a purpose for you to do? We're going to make this a 2-in-1, where you're not only going to, launch the book, advertise the book, but let's advertise who Tamika Marks is. Let's advertise who Kimberly Curtis is. Let's advertise who Stacy Haywood is. So, Jason has done a lot of one-on-one consulting with each of us and with each of the authors to help us on this day. We're not only releasing a book, but we're launching and branding ourselves. So not only the world and everybody in Sumter is going to meet 22 ladies and authors that shared their story, they're going to also meet 22 courageous women of strength, knowledge, power, and wisdom, entrepreneurs, gifts, and talents. All of that is going to be on display Saturday, October 1st at the Sumter County Civic Center from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Face Strong usually do an annual event every year to raise funds for our nonprofit. And again, here I'm thinking it initially started off to be called a Rod for a Cure. And Jason's like, no, we're going to do something different. And, I kind of hesitated first. I'm just like, Sumter's not ready for that. And I don't think I'm ready for that either. And, we have the biggest facility in Sumter. We are planning for over 500 people. And I believe that it will happen. God has literally blessed us and favored us from beginning up until even now. The resources, people coming forth, realizing, who we are and what we're doing, the impact that we're making, not only in the Sumter community, but just all over. We have breasties all over, as far as California, Virginia. We service women all over as survivors, thrivers, and metavirus. So this is an event for people to not only find out about our nonprofit, they're going to meet the 22 ladies of the book, and they're going to also meet these ladies individually as well as meet us collectively with the book. So we're really excited. If you're in the area, if you don't mind traveling, come on down to Sumter, South Carolina. Meet us at the Civic Center. We probably about sold out at every hotel in Sumter because of this event. And we are really excited and looking forward to what God is going to do on that day.
There's going to be vendors. Is that vendor opportunity still available?
The vendor opportunity is still available only if you're going to give our information. Unfortunately, if you're going to sell anything, that deadline has now passed, being that we had to turn everything in to get everyone's vendor permit.
Absolutely.
We're still welcome anyone that wants to set up and do a table to give out information, just to market, advertise their business, their ministry, their church. They can email us at info@wearefaithstrong.com and just let us know that, hey, I know I missed the deadline to sell, but I would like to still participate as a vendor to give out information to market, advertise my business.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be coming back and we're going to be talking about the upcoming event again shortly. We're going to have now a contributing author, Kimberly Curtis, who is now going to be sharing with us. Kimberly, let me pull your information back up here. Let's see. Kimberly is a registered nurse at a Children's National Hospital. Let me get the rest of your information here. She's pediatric registered nurse at a Children's National Hospital, wife and mother of 2, and grandmother of 3, entrepreneur, as we said earlier. baker. She bakes, y'all. Bakes. Now she's added an author to her bio. Yes, Cakes by Kim. I want to know how good those taste. Come on, Kim, talk to us.
Again, thanks for having me on. And as some of the other ladies shared, I don't actually call it anxiety, but I actually call it fear. I just came up on 8 years this past June. And as Tamika mentioned, you get to 5 and you think you're there. And as I kind of got off the path a little bit with keeping up with the healthy eating and things like that. And just here lately, always concerned. What is the pain? What's this under my arm? I'm lifting up. I'm trying to figure out, do I feel anything? So constantly just trying to figure out what's going on, praying, believing that God also told me that, I was healed. I struggle sometimes with the outer appearance and always trying to figure out dry skin, this, that, what's next, and trying to figure out how to keep myself up and not look like what I've been through, or what I may go through daily. I have my daughter as she checked in, and I have my aunt. I not only pray, but I call and talk to them. And for whatever reason, God has given them the exact words that I need to just uplift me out of the place that it seems like I'm going. I'm able to help somebody else, but not always able to help myself to stay above. So I contact them and they're able to listen, but they don't allow me to stay where I'm going at the moment. They just uplift me. And after that, in a prayer, that's how I'm able to keep going.
That's good. I love it. So that support system. So these are the things, is that just to recap, we're hearing that, yes, in a day can look like this, that I'm fearful. I'm watching, what could possibly be happening to my body. There is levels of anxiety that can occur. And when that does, I hear one of the other ladies, as Minister Elder Haywood had said, she's mindful of the words that she used, that death and life is in the power of our tongue. And so prayer, using the tools that God has given us, even in the midst of going through a diagnosis. You ladies, and I take it that the other women that are part of this anthology are also using these tools just to get through a day. And we can make it through the day, then we make it through the week, and we believe God and celebrate that day. I'm all about celebrating for today. One of the key words, I love it. And Elder, we're going to start right there. The power of our words. The power of our words. And we're on the subject of cancer. We're on the subject of breast cancer and how it affects the women. Have anyone looked at the statistics of the Black woman and in our culture? Anyone want to? And I was coming to you, Elder, there for a second. Do you want to tap in there?
I don't know the latest statistics. However, I do know that in the African American community, the numbers are definitely on the rise. And before, it's almost like by the time we get the latest statistics, the number has grown exponentially. And I think that that's one of the important factors of trying to get the word out.
Yeah.
And just saying, we've got to be requesting, demanding, not taking no for an answer when it comes to a 3D mammogram or an MRI, and not just being denied based on age or being under coverage or underinsured. We have got to be able to fight through to demand to get these tests that we so desperately need.
That is so good. I love it. Coach, Lady T, come on. Let's talk about some numbers. She mentioned about how not to take no for an answer. So bring us into, and I'm looking it up now. You've been on this journey for a while. You have a support group. What are some of the challenges that will help us to know, like Elder Haywood just mentioned, is that it may not be us, but it could be someone in our community. How important is it for us to advocate?
It's very important, Sandy. And as far as with the numbers, in the introduction of our book, we do quote what the numbers were at the time that we put the book together.
Yeah,
in the introduction, we have African American women have a 31% breast cancer mortality rate, the highest of any U.S. racial or ethnic group. Among women younger than 45, breast cancer incidence is higher among African American women than any other race. So with that being said, Sandy, you know, that by itself, and especially with me living through a stage 4 and just piggybacking off of what Stacy said with our words. One thing I do and one thing I teach the ladies that we call each other breasties. And one thing I teach my breasts is that we never accept what man say. We always believe what God says. And I never say, I have breast cancer. I told people I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was diagnosed the second time it came back because this is something I refuse to accept. I'm living through it and I'm dealing with it, but it's something I don't accept, but I use wisdom with it. It is so important for women to know that, especially our culture. It's heartbreaking at time when I'm having conversation with women and they're in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and telling me they never had a mammogram before. And I'm just like, you know, it's not a laughing matter to me. And I'm just thinking to myself, you could be living with cancer in your body and have no idea of what's going on. And, you know, it's a lot of women, especially more women that look like us, that have not had mammogram, don't do annual mammograms, don't do annual checkups. And I will tell you this from both experience, from my first diagnosis and with the second, my body told me something was wrong. And one thing about breast cancer, especially when it metastasizes, it's not always about a lump. Because the second time, it was not about a lump. Mine metastasized to other parts of my body, primarily in my bones. And I just started aging, feeling like I was like 100 years old. I was having shortness of breath. I was feeling tired all the time, just want to sleep. I was aching like somebody was just taking a hammer and just beating me in my bones. And I just know something was not right. But being as the women that we are, we wear so many hats. We have so many responsibilities in life. Like for me, I'm going from home from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. with work and commuting, trying to, you know, work a full-time job, be a full-time wife, be a full-time mom. And a lot of times we deprive ourselves we put ourselves at the bottom of the list with trying to take care of everybody else. But we don't realize each day that we put off going to the doctor, knowing something is wrong, the more we increase our chance. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, my diagnosis came November 2018. I knew from January 2018 that something was wrong with my body. And I just stayed busy taking care of everything else and everybody else, that by the time I was forced, keyword, I was forced to go to the doctor because I ended up with a blood clot that caused swelling that forced me to go to the doctor to realize it started addressing things that had been going on for months. So I not only want to educate and inform, but we just want women to understand you cannot take care of anybody else until you take care of self. You have got to make self your number one priority. You know, we can't be, how is it that we can help everybody else, but we can't help ourselves? We have got to take the time to do our physicals, do our annual mammograms, do our annual pap smear, because the least little sign and red flag and warning is what can indicate that this could lead to something else. And majority of women now being diagnosed with breast cancer, you know, being diagnosed at stage 4 upon the diagnosis because they ignored the signs, didn't take the time to go to the doctor. So it's very important to know your body and listen to your body, do your annual checkups. And each one of us have a unique story on what our signs, our warning signs, what we went through. So even though you're dealing with 22 authors, it's very valuable information. You can, it's beneficial to anybody. Men get breast cancer. My grandfather was one of the first African American men in South Carolina to have breast cancer in the 70s. So there's something for everyone to learn from our journey to empower them, educate them. And I hope my goal is it puts enough fear in people to say, you know what, when they put that book down, they put it down to go make their doctor's appointment and go see their doctor. And
Yes.
don't just, let people just say, well, there's nothing wrong. Keep having tests done. I tell women all the time, you pay for health insurance. You have the right to say, I need a referral for a CT scan. I need a referral for an MRI. I want to have a PET scan. Don't just accept, no, everything looks good, because you have to dig deeper to find those hidden cells that most of the time are hidden, and they don't really surface until you're now at stage 3 or stage 4.
That is so much valuable information. I hope you all grabbed it. One of the things that Coach Minister T just told us is to make self our priority. Make us not just a priority, but number one. Don't ignore the signs that are in your body. Don't ignore them. You know what your body, you know what's happening with your body. Don't ignore that. Make those doctor appointments. Make sure that you go to your doctor appointment, not just make the appointment and then when the date comes to cancel it. I'm waving my hand. Because you'll let things pile up and then, oh, I don't have time to go to the doctor. I'll reschedule. No, it is necessary for you to keep your appointment. If y'all can see, I can share my screen here a little bit. We've got the authors. There are 22 women. And what's about to happen in Sumter, South Carolina. Let me pull this back up here and go back to it here in just a moment. But what's about to happen in Sumter, South Carolina is that on October the 1st, that these women will be a part of an event that is going to be taking place. And it is called Pink in the City. Authors meet and greet. There will be live entertainment, exhibitors, and vendors. Listen, if you are within a 60-mile, maybe 120-mile radius, as you said, already hotels are being booked. They're probably filled right now for this weekend event. But listen, if you're living in that area and you just want to go and spend the day in the beautiful city of Sumter, go, put this on your calendar. Go ahead. I got some folks that are not too far from there. I'm going to be sending out some emails and we want them to come on and support you. It's going to be at the Sumter County Civic Center. And as you can see here, it's not just the event for their book signing, but it's also informational. Bring another friend, make it a girls trip, make it a day you're going to grab your girlfriend and you guys are just going to hit the road and go spend a day to get informed, have fun, but also meet these amazing, phenomenal women that are part of this book called High Heels in Low Places. At this time, what I'm going to do now is allow the ladies a few minutes for them to each share about their journey individually so that you can hear their heart. They have about 2 to 3 minutes to just go ahead and just share their heart. Is that okay, Minister T? Are you with me? Oh, okay, good. I'm going to go ahead and start with Tamika Marks. And if you will, Tamika, we're going to step back, let you just share your heart a little bit. And what can we expect whenever we buy the book? Just give us a little snippet. Oh, yeah, Coach, is that okay? That they can tell just a little bit. Just a teeny tiny, because the book is not released yet, guys. And my audience, listen, I need you to write it down. You want to have this book. And so we'll come back and talk about it. I want you guys to, once they let us know when it's okay, I'm going to be keeping up with Minister T so we can know when this book released, because we want to support. This is a book not only you want to purchase for yourself, but you also want to purchase it for another female in your life. Come on, Lady Marks. Come on, we're going to step back. Just share your heart with us, if you will, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again so much for this platform, for all of us to be allowed to tell our story. Just my heart is just to tell the next person, go get your mammogram. That's always been my biggest thing, to tell the next person, go get your mammogram, know your body. Like Tamika said before, we always tend to put ourselves last, but we've got to learn to listen to our bodies, listen to, if you have an ache or a pain, call your doctor and say, hey, can you see me? Can I get some blood work done? Because again, even when my doctor told me to go get my mammogram, I put it off for several more months because again, I said I don't have time, until I heard loud and clear one day God told me go get your mammogram. And that's when, my journey started. Um I My family, my husband is a private person, but when my journey started, people would tell me, you need to journal and write things down. But like I said before, I don't write, I don't, journal or whatever. Um, but I was on social media, and so what I did, I started putting my journey on social media. My family was very supportive. My mom, my aunt, and cousins, they, traveled to come with me so that I never went to a chemo treatment by myself. I always had somebody with me. So thank you to them. Shout out to them. But every Wednesday, I put out there, where I was in my journey. I always continue to encourage somebody, please go get your mammogram. If you have a history of it in your family, don't wait till you're 40. Let your doctor know, hey, I have a history of this in my family. I need to get mine sooner than later. So again, just advocate for yourself, be your own, your own personal advocate. Again, just to say, hey, I need my mammogram. I want to get this done. And I have found in this journey that us as African Americans don't like to talk about stuff like this. We tend to keep it to ourselves and say, I don't want to burden anybody else or whatever. And at first, I was almost like that. I didn't want to tell anybody. But once I did tell everybody, again, I have come to find that sharing my journey on social media, I have helped. I know 6 to 7 other women to one, go get their mammogram. After women have been diagnosed, I've been told, thank you for sharing your story on social media because you encouraged me to go get my mammogram. And now I, have cancer. And so we keeping in contact, that type of thing. So again, with this book, please go and support the book. You will find that it is not only for survivors, it is for someone that again may wonder, what is this feeling in my breast? Read the book. For the survivor, you're going to get the encouragement, go get the book. For your sisters, even men, to encourage. Men may not know how to support their wives or their girlfriends or moms or sisters, go get the book. You will find all that helpful information in the book. So this book is not just for women, it's for women, mom, aunts, uncles, daughters, husbands, uncles, everybody. Go get the book. Thank you all again for the opportunity to share our stories on this platform. Thank you, and thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. What an amazing message. And as you shared. So thank you so much. We just heard from one of the contributing authors, Lady Tamika Marks. And yes, Indy, as she said, go and get those mammograms. At this time, we're going to go ahead and bring on contributing author, Kimberly Curtis.
Thanks again for having me on. I just want to share, my heart is just to help somebody else. I was one who did not have a family history, not that I know of anyway. Everybody, as Tamika mentioned, even in families of our culture, we don't mention, we don't share, we don't let anything, let the other one know or the kids know what's going on. So we don't know what to expect. And I would just say, to share with your children, share with family members, share with friends. I remember thinking I didn't have anything to say, but after getting diagnosed, I believe it was like 3 or 4 other nurses at the hospital that I was asked to share my story with. I was asked to speak about it at events, and just grateful for the opportunity. I will say one thing I also keep dear is the root word of vital, vita, and that's life. And one thing I realized was having a support system was not only important, but it was vital. Along with God being my source and my strength, having that support system was what I needed. And I just thank God. And I'll tell anybody and everybody to share, to let somebody else know, to know that you're not in it alone. You don't have to go it alone. And that it's something you can get through. That's what I want people to understand too, that there is life after cancer. I just appreciate God. I appreciate my support system. As I mentioned, my husband is supportive. not very talkative, but was there. But my aunt and my daughter, I just thank God so much for them. And again, I would just say, get the book. Everybody has a unique story, but everybody can be helped, whether you are a survivor, whether you haven't experienced it, whether you have a friend, a loved one, or somebody that you know of. The book can help you. We are here to just let others know that you can make it, you can get through it, and be mindful of the words that you use, because life and death is in the power of our tongue. The power of life and death is in our tongue. And I'm just grateful again to be able to share, to be able to get with other sisters and breasties, and to do something that a lot of people would think 22 women wouldn't be able to do. So again, I'm honored and I'm grateful and I'm excited about what's going to take place on October the 1st in Sumter, South Carolina. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I had to get myself off of mute and then pull you back. Thank you so much. Now, at this time, those of you that are tuning in again, I want you to share this out. I want you to tag another sister. I want you to, and if you're listening to the replay, even go ahead and tag at least 5 women that you love, that you care about, that you need to make sure that they hear this message. Breast cancer awareness, we are on the brink of it, which is in the month of October. And we have our guest today, the visionary author of the book that is in reference to breast cancer and the surviving of breast cancer. This book is On the Heels. I always have to pull it up. High Heels in Low Places. Okay. And the visionary author is Tamika Hunter Ross. And at this time, we're going to hear from Elder Haywood, who also is a contributing author. If you will, come on and just share with us what's on your heart.
Again, thank you for the opportunity to come together and to just share and to get the word out to as many people as we can. So my chapter in the book is entitled I Answered the Call. And to be called to ministry and to say yes to ministry, I had no idea. And I think that this goes for anybody with a call of God on their life. We never really have a full understanding or a full idea of what we're actually saying yes to. So, in saying yes to the Lord, I had no idea that I was saying yes to being a witness that He's a healer of breast cancer and that there's nothing too hard for God. I was only 32 with my first diagnosis. And so I had to advocate because the insurance company did not want to cover my mammogram because I was under 40. And I'm just grateful to the Lord that at that time I had a physician that was willing to fight with me and to keep writing letters and making referrals until I was able to get the mammogram that I so desperately needed. So I encourage everyone to just be that advocate. We tend to advocate for our children or for our families, but become that voice and advocate for yourselves and don't be denied from what could save your very life in the end. So again, I just want to say thank you to Sandy and the audience and everybody. I am so excited and in anticipation about what is going to take place on October 1st. I honestly don't think that it has even entered into the minds or the hearts of men what God is going to do and perform on that day. So I am in great anticipation of what is going to happen in Sumter, South Carolina on October 1st. Again, thank you so much, Sandy, for this opportunity.
My pleasure. We want to thank CTR Media Network, which is under the ownership and guidance and leadership of the amazing Dr. Tina Ramsey and her team. We are so thankful. We are a part of the CTR Media Network. And if you would like to share your podcast and be a part of an amazing amazing platform and media network that will have you in over 310. I said 310, what million? These are 310 million outlets all over the world. And we have found that, yes, the numbers are coming in daily. And our last indication is that we're hitting about 7 countries and 7 to 8 countries. I think it's a little bit more than that. Coffee Conversations and Book Talks with Sandy was number 8, excuse me. We are aiming for number 1 in the top 10, but we're at number 8. We kind of fell down, but I'm kudos and happy and excited for our number 1, our podcaster family and the podcast that hit for number 1 in the month of August. We're waiting for the September numbers to come out. At this time, I'm going to yield back and just ask the visionary author to come and share her heart with us all about this book and the upcoming event and our dialogue conversation of what we've been talking about. These are some amazing, if these 2 ladies, I mean, these 4 ladies or 3 have talked, oh my goodness, I can't wait. And you guys are going to be on with me again. I'm going to pull up my schedule. So those that are watching, I need you guys to look out because we do have another interview with these amazing authors. But come on, if you will, Minister T.
Yeah, so again, just to piggyback off of what Tamika, Kim, and Stacy has shared, we just want to encourage everyone to stand in agreement with us. We only stand in agreement with what God says and what we believe God for, regardless of what science and statistics says. You know, people ask me all the time, how do you manage living through a stage 4 diagnosis knowing there's not a cure for it? And I told them, I said, there is a cure. I said, Jesus not only died on the cross for our sins, he also died for sickness and disease. So by his stripes, we are healed. And I just profess and claim healing, not only for my life, but for all the women that are out there with breast cancer. I have such a crazy faith that I believe that even women that may be walking around with cancer in their body don't even realize it, but they'll be healed and never have to even deal with a diagnosis. That's just the type of God I serve. That's just the type of faith that I have, that, you know, God can do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we can ever ask and imagine. So we ask if you are in agreement with us and what God says, and we're going to believe God's word. And as Stacy said earlier, it will not return to us void. We ask that you join us in this fight. We're stronger together in numbers. You know, so we want you to link your faith with our faith, believe what we believe, say what we say, because our journeys today could very well be your journey tomorrow or someone that is close to you. So the more we the more we grow together. The Bible said that people perish for a lack of knowledge and understanding and wisdom. So get the knowledge and wisdom in this book. I don't know if you can see it. So this is a copy of the hardback book. And also, Sandy, I want to also acknowledge and give a shout out to Stacy, our bestie. With Stacy being a contributing author, Stacy is also a member in Pastor Shirley Caesar's armor bearer. And because of our relationship with Stacy, we were able to get Pastor Shirley Caesar to do the forward in our book. So that by itself, that lets us know that the favor of God is on us, and God is in agreement with what we're doing and our purpose and our intention, to where he's favoring us and blessing us and giving us platforms and resources that, you know, sometimes I feel that we're not worthy of. But, you know, an incredible God deserves an incredible praise for all that he has done, all that he's doing, and all that he will do. And if we just change one person's life, we've done more than enough. And so, again, just ask everyone to support the book, and not only support the book, support the nonprofit. Faith Strong is a nonprofit for breast cancer survivors, thrivers, and metavirus. So, you know, if you know someone, even if the person is, we all consider a survivor. I tell everyone every day that God allows me to wake up, I am a survivor, regardless if I'm still going through treatment every 3 weeks. Everyone is a survivor, and we all have something to bring to the table to encourage and help someone else. So if you know of anyone that's a survivor, that's finished with their journey, or you know someone that is what we call a thriver, that means they're actively in treatment, they're still doing chemo, they're still doing radiation, they have a surgery schedule, or they may be recovering from surgery, or if they are a metavirus, they was diagnosed with stage 4. We ask that you invest in a book in for them, and not only get the book for them, connect them with our support group, our nonprofit. They do not have to be in South Carolina. It's something to connect with our support group. So, you get two for the price of one. You get all this wealth information through the book, as well as you have the opportunity to connect with other women that can understand and relate to what you're going through. So we're excited. We're looking forward to it. Each of the authors, you can purchase the book from each of the authors. If you want to get a copy or come to the event, if you can't come to the event, just reach out to any of the authors, and we'll be happy to order a copy or do a purchase for you. And Sandy, thank you so much. Again, I have to acknowledge and give a shout out to Jason Mahoney, the motivator. He really motivated this project. He helped me to bring it to pass with the help of God. He took us to another level in the vision, the book, as well as with this event. Jason, if you're still on, we want to say thank you. We could never repay you for all your hard work, your time, and your financial investment with helping us with this book. And we're excited to the platforms that is going to have us on, because we're making history.
Absolutely. You are indeed making history. I did put your website up, and we put that in the chat. So those of you that are looking at the replay, do reach out. As Minister T said, is that the support group is not just for Sumter, South Carolina. If I understood that correctly, it can be someone from any parts of the world. And we know that it's just not here in the United States. We are a global platform. So if you are watching or listening to us from another country, whether you're in Africa, whether you are in Australia, whether you are in the UK, no matter what country that you're in, if you're in the islands and you want to connect with this amazing woman, yes, her website is www.tamikahunterross.com. Did I do that right? I'm going to put it back up.
Yes.
Because we do have individuals that are watching us globally. And so this is a global network. I also do want to mention one of our other sponsors. Our main sponsor, yes, is Swag Her Magazine. Swag Her Magazine is an urban magazine that is not only online, digital, but it is also and can be found in print. It is on Instagram as well as Facebook. Thank you so much, Swag Her, for being here and supporting us. They are one of our sponsors, and I'm super excited of the amazing things that are happening. Over 4,000 plus continually. I think it's like 40,000 that their Facebook page is, and then it continues to grow. And I don't have the numbers for the print distribution, but I know it's high. Listen, and Swag Her Magazine, thank you so much for being here to support us. At this time, each of the ladies, I want to know, before we kind of wrap this up, Tamika, you got anything going on other than making plans to be in South Carolina on October 1st? What you working on, girl? Are you working on anything?
Working on several different things. Having two teenagers in the house, I have a lot going on. I have a senior this year, so trying to make plans to apply for college and financial aid and all that type of stuff. So yes, we are doing, looking forward to all of that for her senior year. Super excited to come home to Sumter, South Carolina, see a lot of family and friends and that kind of thing. Yes, so super excited.
Awesome. You'll have to come back and share some of those tips, because a lot of times parents, they just don't know. They have juniors and juniors, what is the best year to actually start looking at those things, such as college? Will traditional 4-year colleges and universities, would that be the first best choice? So
Right.
yeah, maybe inviting you back to come and do a roundtable conversation. If we
Definitely.
at this time, yes. Elder Stacy, tell us about your nonprofit. Got anything going on other than heading on down to South Carolina?
Well, I will, of course, be in South Carolina on October 1st. The following week will be the kickoff of our pastor's birthday and anniversary. So I'm looking forward to some of the co-authors joining and being in Raleigh with us on that weekend. So that will be an exciting time that we will be able to come together, take part in a rally to advocate to get the age limits removed. So those are just some of the things that that are coming up. And we all know, with October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, there is no shortage of opportunities to share, to speak to other women, to get the word out. So again, those are just some of the things that are up and coming for the month coming in that is fastly approaching.
Yes, yes, indeed. Thank you so much for sharing. Love to again invite you back to come and share about your nonprofit. I think it's amazing. Definitely. One of the congratulations is from best-selling author Tisha Chambers, as she says, "Congratulations, ladies. Thank you for sharing." Kimberly, we're trying to get Kimberly back on. I know she's. We're gonna see if we can't bring her back on, so if she has something to share before we end our broadcast. Are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Kimberly?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Can you share us
What was
quickly
the question?
just what you have going on a little bit?
I can.
Okay, yeah. Whatever may be going on, and getting ready to go down to South Carolina in October. What you got going on?
Getting ready, preparing some sweet treats for the event. Excited about going down sharing. We have an 11-year-old in the home, so it's always something going on. Soccer, golf, just trying to keep my head on straight, and just excited. And again, looking forward to getting with the breasties. This has been a wonderful journey, and it's been exciting. So to get together and see everybody in person, my heart is just excited about that. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's what's going on.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited for you all. Thank you so much for finding value in what we do and what we present here. Our platform is a Christian-based platform. We are truly, truly honored to have you, Minister T, along with these amazing, amazing contributing and women and contributing authors. You all will be back with me on Tuesday evening at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so any of the authors, just reach back out, and we'll talk about that a little bit after when we're off air. Excuse me. Y'all, I had some dental work done this past week. I'm talking a little funny. Mr. Jason, yes, he says, listen, you got us all smiling, and I've never met you. But he says, I salute each of you. Job well done. Yes, indeed. And we thank you, sir, for empowering Minister T for such an amazing project. We're speaking it prophetically that this book, yes, will be a #1 bestseller. And at this time, I'm going to yield back, as I always do, to allow the visionary authors here on Book Talks with Sandy to just share their heart, whatever God has placed on their heart regarding, in her case, her event, the book, and just to speak to us. So at this time, I introduce to you the visionary author of this amazing book here, High Heels in Low Places, an authentic, 22 authentic women who have shared their journey and perseverance with breast cancer diagnosis. At this time, I introduce to you. Go ahead.
Yes. Sandy, again, we just want to thank you for this opportunity to help us bring awareness, to educate, to inform. I'm just really excited. We're looking forward to the interview on Tuesday. Like they said, October's coming up, so everything is going to be pink out for the month of October. But what I want people to realize and remember is that when November 1st comes and all the pink is put up, all the decorations put up, you still have women that are still fighting for their lives 365 days a year. It doesn't stop just because the world take 1 month to recognize our journeys and what we've gone through, what we've been through, what we're going through. Just keep in mind that it doesn't stop beyond October, that women and men affected by breast cancer, diagnosed with breast cancer, they need your support 365 days a year. I can personally attest to the nonprofit through the support group for the past 4 years. Cancer is not what always kills someone or takes someone, where someone lose their life. A lot of people give up because they don't have the support system. They don't have the means. They don't have the resources. Just knowing that somebody care means a lot. That's why we have a program called Faith Angels, where we allow people to adopt one of our breast cancer thrivers and metavirus. It's just, you never know that day, what type of day that person have, that they were on the verge of giving up. But because you took the time to call them, text them, just pray for them, call out their name, or send them something in the mail, it snatched them back from giving up. So just keep in mind, everyone, that, after October 31st, continue to pray for those that are going through, continue to support and be there, because it's needed 365 days of the year. We also be mindful where you give your donations during the month of October. There's a lot of scams. There's a lot of hackers out there. You want to make sure you check your local charity bases. You look up your Secretary of State, make sure that you're giving to legit nonprofits. Of course, I'm going to be very biased and selfish and say you can always give the Faith Strong. We are an official, legit 501c3 nonprofit organization. And all donations are tax deductible. You can find and learn more about us and give a donation at www.wearefaithstrong.com. That's www.wearefaithstrong.com to learn more about our organization, our support group, and our nonprofit. And we just want to thank you in advance for the support for October 1st and beyond October 1st. And again, thank you, Jason, the motivator, for making all this possible. I'll tell anyone, everything you go through, there's a purpose and there's something to be birthed. And if you're looking for someone to help you walk through what God has called you to do, and you just need that push, you just need that little motivation, I challenge you to reach out to Jason Mahoney and Craft It to Motivate, and let them assist you with helping to make all your dreams come true. I promise you, you won't regret it.
I'm going to take myself off of mute. There is the website. We're going to make sure that we do put it up, but Faith Strong Incorporated, faithstrong.com. This is her home page. If you do want to donate, yes, click onto that donate button. You can find all the information out about this nonprofit organization, who they are, their services, Faith Strong Angels, photo gallery, support us, our founder, and more. So listen, those are the two websites you definitely want to have in your, and again, your opportunities to give before the end of 2022 for your tax purposes. So again, these are all, and you're going into good ground. I always talk about having, putting our monies and our funds and our time sowing into good ground. And surely we can tell that Minister T is a good steward over what God has entrusted her with. Well, I am Sandy Sanders. It has been a pleasure. Thank you all. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Facebook community, those that saw our blast, our link, and got the word out. Thank you all. Thank you so much. We'll be back on Tuesday evening with these phenomenal women, along with the visionary author of such an amazing book. And so we're super excited. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for tuning in to Book Talks with Sandy. Ladies, you all are amazing. You have lifted up my spirits for today. And I think that's really about it, y'all. All right, we're going to do our intro, and anything else? Anybody got last words, as they say? All hearts and minds are clear?
Yes.
You guys know that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you guys know, don't go nowhere. Y'all know that I love you, and y'all be blessed. Take care.